Hello everyone and welcome back to John Builds. Okay, you can see Victory's back on the table and I'm still doing the process, the labour of love of having all these stanchions. So I've done a video about these before, but obviously as I've been working my way along Victory, I've kind of changed how I do things. So I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update video about these stanchions. So these latest stanchions we got, and I've already blackened these and obviously put them in that brass black, so they've all been blackened off. So yeah, even though it's even though you can still see quite a lot of the copper shining through. Okay, so we're going to work on this midship section. So first thing I'm going to do is going to equal it up. So from the instructions it tells you we use a fit 9, so we've pretty much worked out that I need a space at the steps around about 22mm. So the first one I'm going to do is a little T-square. If you haven't got a T-square, just make yourself one. These are brilliant and you can use it all the time. So I'm just going to drop that on there and then just mark it. Like I say, normally I push that in, but I don't want to block the camera with my hand, but yeah, so all I do is push it in and then mark it. And then just get your ruler, mark that at 22mm, which is pretty much the side of them stanchions. In fact, I pretty much went up against them on that other side, on the port side. Okay, so what mistake I've made before when I've done the other ones is I forgot to kind of drill these out. So you glue a ball in place and you start to attach obviously your rope, and then it wouldn't go in. So yeah, so remember, just I think I used a 1.3mm drill, and then that fits that thread in kind of nice and easy. So remember to do that first on the cutting mat before you actually get it up on the Victory, because it's really difficult to kind of drill these once they're up in situ. Okay, so on some of the other sections I've used super glue, but I've never been 100% convinced that's doing a great job. So now I've been going back to using a bit of a impact adhesive. This is just an Evo stick. This is the one I just picked up, so I've been using that for this build. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get rid of this this paint, because it really wants to stick to onto the bare wood rather than sticking to the paint. So I'm just going to use a file. Like I say, there's so many mistakes I've made on this build. If I was doing it again from scratch, I wouldn't paint anything like this when I knew there was extra parts still to be stuck on top of it. But yeah, we'll live and learn. So what I'm going to do is just take a little file and just reveal this wood again. Okay, so I've revealed the wood. What I'm going to do on these little stanchions, on the instructions they tell you to glue them in with that tiny little blade edge, and I just don't think it works. So what I've done, I just took a couple of these little folders, I pinched the stanchion in place and then I bent them over, so it gives me a larger gluing surface. So now I've just got a lot larger gluing surface, and the same again I'm going to do is just take off the brass black. And just reveal that nice shiny copper again. Okay, so get yourself a little off-cut wood, just pretty much nice and thin. It's only about 0.5 and it acts as a bit of a spreader. So just get yourself your compact adhesive and just put a tiny little bit amount on, just enough that it'll glue one, because that's all you want to do is to glue one at a time. And then get your one you just cleaned up. Take this little spatula and just put a little bit on the back edge, and then sit it down for around about 5 minutes. And take a little bit more. Probably just need to mark that again. Just mark it with a pencil again. And then take your spatula or your scrap of wood and just run a little bead along that line. Like I say, then just leave it for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so I've left that to dry around about 5 minutes, so now we're going to bring these two parts together. just going to drop it on, kind of line it up with that line, and take a little T-square again, pop that on, and then you can just get your little tweezers, and you can just make any minor little adjustments. And that's the first one. Okay, so like I say, sometimes it can be leaned over, leaning forward or leaning backwards. But yeah, the mistake I've learned, the mistakes that I've used to do is I'd be tweaking it, I'd be trying to touch it, just walk away. Well, not literally walk away, but just leave it. Move on to the next one, and then you can come back to that at a later stage. So same again, it's going to do one more. I've already just prepared that while the glue was going off. So then just set yourself another little bit of fresh glue out, and just clean off the old glue off the end of that little spatula we've got, and then just repeat that process. So just run a dot along that back edge, and just run a dot along that line. Same again, leave it 5 minutes and then come back. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, I'm just going to drop this one on. Drop your little T-square on. And then just adjust it accordingly, like I say, but don't try and adjust the forward and backwards. All that's going to do is make it weak. And then same again, just leave it, just don't be tempted to touch it. And then pretty much all we're going to do is just carry on all the way across with the same process of making a space, a 22mm, marking it, cleaning the paint off, and then gluing the same procedure until we pretty much get all the way right to the end. Okay, so it's going to fit as a last one. Spent about half an hour just fitting the rest of these off camera, so pretty much just going to glue this one on like I did all the previous ones. Can't get a square in there, but it's pretty much butt up against that edge, so I think it'll be okay. Okay, so like I say, the best thing now to do with this is just completely leave it. We've got other sections to do, so I'd leave that for 24 hours before you get tempted to start touching it. Just giving the adhesive a real good chance to glue, and then we can feed in all this row like we've done before. Okay, so I'm going to move on, but I've noticed, I was talking earlier in the video about mistakes, but it's mainly time mistakes. So like I said, we've got some more stanchions to add all the way on this forecastle. Yeah, so I've just noticed this, that I'm gonna try and figure out what to do with this, because it's kind of a massive overhang. So yeah, so this build somewhat along the line, this I'd say this Deagostini build, for me to change it to make it, you know, I mean, a manageable build, I'd say it's probably added a year or maybe a year and a half to the build, because now I'm probably going to have to take this off, thin all this rail down so I can get these stanchions in without them looking. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of overhang. I think the overhang on Victory's a little bit, but that's around about half. So yeah, I'm probably have to cut all this away, thin it down, reattach it, and then put this stanchion in. So this is one of the problems with these builds is, if I'd have probably researched, when I first did this was quite some time ago, if I'd researched it a bit more, I'd have realised that when you get to put these stanchions on, there's no room. So another bit of a headache, but yeah, we'll overcome it like we've done on the previous build. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Until next time, take care. This has been John Builds, and I'll see you all again soon.